designs and geographical indications. So I'll give you a brief overview very quickly, the difference between all these things. Patents, as I have told you, it's an exclusive right granted by a country. Again, I would like to emphasize, it's country specific. So if you want to protect your patent in USA, first you file in India and then you file in USA. Otherwise, you can protect your invention, innovation, and creativity in India, but somebody can copy in US. So country of interest, you must file. So therefore, instead of going to every country, government, jointly it has been decided to file PCT application, wherein you can decide 7, 8, 9, 10 countries, file PCT application. Your invention, innovation, and creativity is protected for 18 months. By that time, you decide that in which country you really want to file that particular patent. You file in those countries, and you prosper. This gives credit to the inventor. Earlier, it excludes other for making, using, or selling his or her invention in that particular country during the life of the patent. Patent life is 20 years. After 20 years, anybody can copy and anybody can use it. So these are basically the pictures of Indian and US patent. Very nicely looking. US patent, it gives real pride to the organization. You have got this sort of certificate. So in summary, patents give exclusive right for 20 years. They are territorial in nature. First to file. Technical disclosure is essentially required, and you will get the monopoly. You have got the ownership, which you can transfer through licensing. Territorial in nature, as I've told you, they are valuable assets. So therefore, they are known as intellectual property, because they are valuables. And you'll get a lot of commercial benefits, and of course, the monopoly on that particular invention, innovation. But what are the 3 things essentially required for patenting? Number 1, your invention should be novel. Nobody has done or filed that particular thing in any part of the world. So therefore, novelty is one thing which is essentially required. Then it should be non-obvious. Obvious things cannot be patented. So second requirement is non-obviousness. And third is, it must work. That means it must have useful purpose. So if your work is qualifying through all the 3 subsets of the requirements, then you can file a patent. Novelty, utility, and non-obviousness means it must have inventive step. When to file? It should be filed immediately. Because if you publish or if you interact even on WhatsApp and email, and those WhatsApp and emails are accessed by someone, it becomes prior art. Then you simply cannot file. So ideally, if you have a very good idea, you file idea patenting. But if you really develop something, so quickly, immediately, you must file patent as soon as possible. These are the contents in the specification. You'll have to have some abstract, field of invention, prior art. It's very important because based on the prior art, you'll have to confirm that, yes, nobody has done this type of activity with respect to product or the process, right? So you'll have to give justification based on the prior art. So this is very, very important. Then you'll have to give details of invention, statement, etc. And finally, the set of claims. These are also very, very important. That whatever you are claiming, you'll get the patent for that particular thing only. So therefore, very judiciously, you'll have to set the claims for the invention. So prior art is very important because based on the prior art, you'll have to justify that, yes, my patent has got the 3 important prerequisites, that is novel, novelty, non-obviousness, and third is the utility, it really works. This is one example of a US patent. So this is I think you must have seen the patents. It has got a title, and then once awarded, you'll get the patent number. Otherwise, till it's not awarded, you'll get the application number. That's the only difference. The date of the grant, in case of application, date of the application, then name of the inventors, and date of filing. When did you file? And 20 years start from the date of the filing, not from the date of the award. These are basically the classification. And patent attorney role is very, very important, because patent is a quasi-legal document. So therefore, my suggestion would be that if you go in for patenting a product or a process, please take help of patent attorney, because lots of legalities are involved in filing patent. So we all are scientists. Our knowledge about the legal system is limited. So it's always advisable to take help of a patent attorney. This is the grant procedure. Earlier, it used to take about 10 to 15 years. I think ma'am's patent, I think you filed in 2015. I don't know whether it has been awarded or not. That was the application which you had shown. So used to take 10 to 15 years, but now it's very fast in India also. There are examples. In fact, one of my patents, I got it in less than a year. So what is copyright? Copyright protects the creativity and artistic, like cinematography. All the cinemas, music, everything is copyrighted. You simply cannot copy. Just 5 minutes. Life is 70 years, life of the author plus 70 years. But if he transfers that particular copyright to his or her successor, then again 70 years life of that successor, life of the successor plus 70 years more. Trademark, you all know that it protects basically the unique names, design, logo, symbol, and color, etc. The life is 10 years. You can renew it for another 10 years. Trade secrets, they are secret till you can keep secret with you. Classical example is Coca-Cola. Geographical indications, they are also very important, because they indicate the origin of a particular product in any part of the world. It could be agriculture good, it could be natural good, manufactured good. Examples are, for example, Darjeeling tea. This is a geographical indication of Darjeeling. Likewise, the saris, Mysore agarbatti, and so on and so forth. So life is 10 years, but it can be renewed further. Traditional knowledge, the classical example is haldi. US filed patent for haldi for the therapeutic applications. India filed objection. It was a big legal battle, and eventually this particular patent was withdrawn. Now let us see what are the opportunities in the plasma research. Definition you all know, there are these applications like fusion, material processing, space propulsion, and medicine. They have got a lot of opportunity to file patents. And there are interdisciplinary applications also, which gives a lot of windows in filing patent. And eventually you can monetize. You can have patents for new devices, methods, and applications. You can have copyrights. Any simulation software, a lot of softwares have been discussed in the last 2 days. They can be patented or copyrighted, and technical documents. Then you can have trademarks for proprietary technologies, branding of instruments, and trade secrets. You can confidentially process something, or you can have design patent. Design patent is the easiest one in the IPR domain. So these are all the areas wherein you can file patents and other intellectual property rights. only I want to emphasize on the last point, publication versus patent. So you'll have to very judiciously decide that whether you want a publication, knowledge, which is open to all, or if you want to protect something, then you'll have to file a patent. This is a thing which is to be decided by the inventor. So these are all the case studies. I think it has been discussed, no point in discussing further. But all these tokamak, plasma pyrolysis, semiconductor processing, lot of patents are there. So that means not only in our country, but across the globe, people are preferring patent in plasma field also. Very important, there's a trade-off between IPR and publication that you'll have to decide. One thing is that whenever you start a project, if you have got an IPR mindset, that please integrate intellectual property review in the research planning itself, so that when idea comes or when you feel that this idea will give you something tangible, immediately you file the patent. In Indian perspective, I mean, a lot of companies, and they're filing patents, and it also encourages academia-industry collaboration. So in summary, IPR is essential for protecting and commercializing plasma R&D. Early and strategic planning is very, very crucial because, and second thing is, you'll have to have confidentiality. Even poster presentation or email exchanges can make your invention as a prior art, and then you simply cannot file. So thank you very much. And if you have any question, clarifications, you can ask right now, or I am here.
Thank you, sir, for a very nice overview on patents and publications. Are there
how can we, is there any resources from where we can get to know about the prior art? And second is the financial burden while filing the patent. What kind of money do we need? So the first question was regarding prior art.
Yeah, you'll have to do very intensive literature search. And there has been used somewhere, or it is really novel. So there are a lot of softwares. I mean, if you can interact me on email, I'll share all that information with you. And your second question was?
Regarding the financial burden, like...
Organization takes the responsibility for filing intellectual property, right? But if you have developed something on your own, right, you can take loans, etc., or EC filing. It is costing about 20-25 lakhs.
Yeah, thank you.
He asked me a question, right? So I'm answering. Okay, so I'm going to answer you that question. See, what happens, no? See, the filing process is not easy. And you know, for a small industry like this, you know, it takes so much resources. तो हम क्या सोचते हैं कॉपी करने दो ना क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Because I checked with the patent officer, what he told me was, if I have already manufacturing, you have a proof of supplying the same thing. This I have confirmed. So as long as I am not stopped from selling something, I don't mind people copying and doing. अच्छा है, Excel का copy किया तो सुनने को तो आएगा?
Yes.
Right. Everybody wants to know their.
Sir, it's not mandatory to file patent. It's up to you.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Actually, क्या होता है for big companies, right, where they do spend a lot of money in R&D, and you know come up with some item, patent is a must. Otherwise, they cannot recover the money.
True.
But हमारे जैसे आदमी के लिए, I think we should allow it to grow.
Your call, sir. But only thing is, design patent, it's costing only 500 rupees. Design registration.
Design patent इसके लिए नहीं करते हैं कि we are into custom design. So we interact with the customers and students.
Okay.
Then only design is made. So I will not say that it is our design.
Yeah. I mean, one should not file patent just for the sake of patenting, right? Correct. If you feel that, yes, it will, impact your business, please go ahead and file it.
Sure.
And if you feel that, okay, सब कुछ बिल्कुल ठीक चल रहा है, then it's fine.
Copy करने दो अच्छा है.
Thank you, sir, for the talk.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is regarding the trade secret.
Yeah.
Like you said that the trade secret is the secret until you can keep it.
Yes.
Suppose I have the formula,
Yes.
and someone by hook and by crook, they took that formula. So will there be any legal action or something else?
Nothing. Trade secret is a private thing. I mean, trade secret is to your heart. Till you maintain secrecy, that is, for example, Coca-Cola. I mean, lot many people tried to copy Coca-Cola, but nobody could do it.
Okay, so like I
So
could not-
there is no intellectual property right for Coca-Cola. It's a classical example. And we are drinking Coca-Cola since ages.
Thank you.
No, nothing, nothing. It is up to you. Yeah, yeah. You, yes. No money spent, nothing is to be shared. So,
I think let's thank the speaker. We'll actually continue in the. Okay, we'll take last one question.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, talk was very nice. Actually, I want. Currently, I have one patent on like diffraction gratings. So it is like non-granted. It is like general patent on diffraction gratings. So how to make that patent to
No,
be
no,
granted?
I couldn't get your question. Please repeat once again.
So like how to make one patent
How to make the patent?
patent to be granted. Right now I have one patent on gratings. It is not a granted patent. It's like just
So, yeah, yeah.
normal.
Now I got. You see, that's why I'm saying that prior art is very, very important. Why patents are rejected? It's only because of the prior art. You feel that, I mean, through limited literature search, you feel that whatever you have done is meeting the three criteria, that is novelty, non-obviousness, and utility. But somewhere somebody has published in some remotest part of the world, right? If they pick it up, then they will not grant patent to you. So these three things are essentially required. So therefore, you'll have to do thorough due diligence of your product or the process and see and confirm and legally, justify that nobody has done this sort of work in any part of the world. Only then it can be filed.
Like patent is already filed, then application number, everything is okay. But the thing is that I want to how to make that thing like a granted patent. Like
No, but it's a continuous process.
Continuous process.
Once you file, right, you'll get file number,
file number.
right?
Yeah.
Then after 18 months, when the examination starts, you'll get application number. I have shown you the sequence.
Yeah.
So you'll get an application number. Application number is nothing, just like a patent without patent number. And once that is through, I mean, when the examiner says that, yes, this is perfectly okay, they remove that application number and write patent number and grant of patent date. But your date starts from the date of filing. So 20 years from the date of filing. Right?
Thanks.
Fine. So let's thank the speaker, Dr. Arvind Gupta, for a very nice talk. And now I will and thank all the speaker of this session. It was a wonderful interaction on industry and societal applications of plasma on industry and society. So now I'll hand it over to the LOC. Dr. Rupal, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Now we have panel discussion on title of Bridging the Gap and Launching Research Career Beyond Academia, moderated by Dr. Anurag Gupta, advisor of IPS Academy CSAR. So I request Dr. Anurag Gupta once again, come on the stage. Just give me a moment, sir. So Dr. Gupta holds a PhD in organic chemistry. He was a former director of Indian Oil R&D Center. Dr. Gupta is a proud holder of 91 national and international patent and has authored over 100 research papers. Dr. Gupta has served in several prestigious institutes. Currently, he is also advisor of R&D IPS Academy CSAR Indore. So I just want to welcome sir once again on the stage, and now stage is yours. Over to you, sir.
Check.
Hello. So now, good afternoon to all of you. I would like to first invite Dr. Vasant Sathe to please come and take the seat. Madam Dr. Joseph, please take your seat. Dr. Subhash Pai, please come. Welcome, sir. Dr. Jay Joshi and Dr. Saksham Khanna. इसमें अच्छा लिखा डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर शांतनु करकरी प्लीज थिंक आई हैव ओ मेरे पॉकेट नहीं था सो आई हाँ यू कैन प्लीज these are the two questions. I think I've sent it to you. You must have received this one. So, good afternoon, fellow panelists, and as you all know that last 2 days were really, really amazing. We discussed every aspect of the plasma through a keynote address, followed by presentation by students who are doing PhD or who are involved in the research on plasma. So we learned so many things, including little bit of intellectual property right also. Now the time has come to guide the students or the researchers for the future career. So it could be anywhere in any industry, or it could be in the industry wherein plasma is being researched, worked, or applied. So we have got, in fact, 2 sets of questions. First set of question is a general type of question, which says that the conventional path often involves pursuing academics and embarking on an academic career only. However, for students aiming for an industry career, how should they prepare from the start of their academic journey, and what specific skills or skill sets should they develop to be industry ready or industry friendly? So my suggestion would be that I'll request all my panel colleagues to speak for about 3 to 4 minutes, and after that, the floor would be open for question and answers. And please ask questions, because this particular panel discussion is very, very important with respect to the career profiling of all the researchers and the students who are working either in the field of plasma or in any other field. So I would like to open from ma'am.
Hello. Well, I am privileged to be here, and in my entire journey of being a scientist in IPR, I have always been approached by industries. So it is easier for me to answer this question. Well, I was also a PhD student like any one of you. I had my own problems, same problems as you face or will be facing if you have not completed. Any industry would always like to, since plasma is an advanced research, so many industries would like to have a plasma physicist in their organization. So what will they be looking into? They might look for a person who knows how to use a system, the ins and outs of the system, because they look for a look for all the attributes in one person rather than having a team of people. So when you all are doing your research today, if you are an experimentalist, I will be basically touching upon the experimental past because I have worked up. I have a similar background in it. Just don't use everything like a black box. If you have an experimental system, try to understand the design of the system. Just your supervisor said that your results will come at this particular pressure. Don't believe that. Look what happens below that pressure or what happens above that pressure. Try to understand the ins and outs. Similarly, the power supplies that you are using, don't use it as a black box. Try to understand what goes into making that power supply. Suppose something goes bad, you should know how to repair it or get the addresses of the vendors who can repair it and try to understand the problem rather than going and giving it somewhere and then taking it. Other thing that I would like to propose is the analysis part. Please don't give your samples outside, take the results and just believe them. Try maximum possible to do an hands-on experience and try to be there with the person who is operating because everyone does not get a chance to operate those sophisticated equipments. Thirdly, I would like to tell the audience over here, mostly the research scholars, make a package for yourself. A package means it should, for example, the topic that you are doing. And you should look at your goal, what an industry might have. So make your full package. It should be a package of publications. It should be a package of all the ins and outs, everything A to Z that you have done, so that when you go for an interview, you have been asked. Lastly, the most two important aspects that I, as a research scholar, also learned was patience and surprises. So you must have been patient all throughout this 4 or 5 years. That also will help you in your industry. So don't think that the moment you enter into an industry, you will immediately give them results. You have to obey your supervisors over there and try to give the best possible. So try to make yourself that way. And surprises have come all through the journey of your research. Those surprises will also be there in your industry. So try to learn how to accept those surprises and how to overcome those surprises. So this is from my side, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Dr. Karkare, please.
Okay, so good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
First thing, I feel very privileged. So I've guided students, I think on all 10 PhD students, and out of them, there are, I think, about 6. They are working already, I think, in industry as well as someone who is here who is organizing this event. And one on my left side, Jay, is working in the industry, and some others in different others places also. So when they started, they actually took the research problem which is not intended for doing, their mindset was not inclined that they will be definitely going to the industry or things like that. What they did is that the research problem, what they were doing has got a certain element where they could learn instrumentation, they had some physics understanding about the problems. They were very meticulous in doing the problems with understanding, taking data, and analyzing them in a way that makes some meaningful sense. They were able to present the work themselves independently. They had all these kinds of opportunities. So I believe that most of the students, when they come for the research, they don't have a very clear idea whether to go in the academic side or in the industry. They don't come unless and until very rare occasions that the students are already have some experience in the past or from the businesses. So they come, they understand that, look, I have to do the PhD for certain reason. Okay, so that's a basic fact. But what I'm trying to say is that when you are saying that what is a conventional path often involves in the academic side, so one has to be very thorough in what they are trying to do, and that is going to give some benefits later on. Now what the industry wants to see, so when they are looking and interviewing the students or the things, so they are looking at certain qualities. Look, that I want a particular kind of expertise that they might be looking for. And in addition to that, whether he is able to work in a team, whether he has got sufficient patience, or he can be adaptable to the situations and the hardships. So these are the other various qualities that people are actually looking at it. So I think it's a mixture of all these things, and how they should prepare from the start of their academic journey. So I think they should see. One thing is that when they are taking up the research problem, they are only focused on the things that they are only observing that particular thing and nothing else they could see in the world. But that limits their approach. See, if you are able to solve certain problems, but they should think that, look, how this problem can be fitted into a different perspective, different areas of science where it can reach to. So gaining expertise in one area doesn't mean that like you have to become very stubborn and rest of your life is only dedicated for doing that particular thing. So no. So we have to be always adaptable to the situations and see through that, like where you can actually, give that thing back. So that is one of the things, So, what should they develop for the industry ready? I think I mentioned a few already. And a lot of the things happen in industry. The basics, apart from your academic thing, one should be able to learn certain instrumentation, certain other things which are more skill, and he should be able to innovate things. The challenges that they face, they should be able to find a solution to the problems, rather than actually having somebody who will be able to guide you at the end. So you should become a very independent person. So I think that is from my side. I think I can take over more things in the later. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, and Dr. Sathe. I would request one thing, apart from giving your observations on this particular question, if you can tell the students and researchers that from where they can get these skill sets. I mean, some sort of coaching, some sort of instrumentation, internship. So if you can focus on this particular aspect a little bit more, I would be grateful, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, for giving this opportunity. And namaskar and sadar pranam to all. I also thank Dr. Nishan for inviting me here and giving this opportunity to interact with the students. So this question actually will never come if the students who are doing research or PhD or something like that, in my opinion, focuses first of all in clearing their basic concepts, because that is what I feel nowadays is lacking. Everybody wants to rush, publish this and that. Nobody wants to grind themselves and understand a subject by heart. Because even for an industry, what kind of a person is required, even for academia also, the person should be useful. That is the first condition as far as industry is concerned, that if they are putting 10 rupees, the person should generate at least 30, 40 rupees for the industry. So there are three types of jobs in my opinion, though I never worked in industry throughout my life. I had a luxury of working in academic institution itself, which has a lot of protection and other things. But I understand, because many of my friends are working in industry, so what are the requirements? And they often ask me, we need this type of people, so how will you give that? So one answer I will give here, if I'm talking to most of the PhD students, is that at least in our UGCDA CSR, what we encourage is, even if your number of publications are less, small amount of instrumentation development is almost a must. Whatever it is, very small amount of. Suppose like I work in Raman spectroscopy, so I asked one of my students that for a high pressure Raman spectroscopy, you require some small jigs in order to load the sample. So these jigs are actually commercially available, but I insist, no, you have to make the jig over here itself. You struggle for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or whatever it is. So that will give you an advantage that suppose some problems comes, then what will happen? So to industry, in my opinion, there are three types of jobs which are available. Number one is, of course, product selling. Number two is product development. Number three is, of course, some sort of a problem solving, which in UGCDA CSR, many even big companies approach us. Some of them are also fraudulent also, like I will not name one company, but they make soaps actually. And they wanted, using our ESCA system and other systems, to find it out whether a water molecule or these things can gel well with these soap molecules, so that in 1 kg, the amount of soap will be less, though it will look like 1 kg. So these are a kind of a negative research, but that also comes from industry, because they wanted to sell the product for 100 rupees only, saying that it is maybe 1 kg or half a kg or something, but the moisture is more there, and it is sort of a gel into it so that nobody can recognize it. So there are many other problems also, where like in one of the ships, they wanted to know that some parts are getting rusted earlier compared to the others, why this is happening, and they wanted to do it through Mosber spectroscopy. So we did that. Of course, the one example Dr. Pai has given is about titanium nitride coating and all that thing. So we did that 15 years or 20 years back for some of the industries. Of course, we never go beyond that because we are a UGC-sponsored institution, and we till now also don't have much of a thing how to take monetary inputs from industry. So, but there are many examples which can be given. So of course, out of these 3 skill sets, if you want to be a salesman for any scientific equipment, of course, you must know again the basic concepts, how it works and all other things. What are these positive and negative sides? And when you develop this, you must develop a presentation skill. So I think every 6 months or a year, you should be giving a presentation on your work and how nicely you can sell that particular work. Then you can be getting the skill of selling the product also, whatever product it is. Number 2 is, of course, product development, where a lot of innovation and new concepts are required in order to achieve that particular part. Of course, there will be an engineering part, which some other team will take care. But how to implement your scientific idea or question into some good publication, that itself is like a product development. So if you can do that, instead of publishing 10 papers, 15 papers or something, meaningful 2-3 papers in PhD itself is like a product development. That is what I believe. That your idea is translated into a very good publication, which is not a superficial publication, but there is a meaningful scientific inputs into it, which other peoples will cite. Because if they are meaningful scientific inputs, people will cite a lot about that. So that is the second, third. And the third part is, of course, problem solving, which is many industries required nowadays, because it is developing a lot. So there again, if your basic concepts is good, and if you are able to handle all the scientific equipments on your own, not depending on others, then you can solve this type of problems, and you will try to find out which type of equipment is required to address this particular question. So that one training of equipments and things like that are there. Of course, theoretically also same thing applies for a theoretical person also. What kind of simulation techniques he or she is required to address a particular problem is a must. And therefore, I will again and again request that first grind yourself, be confident, have good basic concepts. Unless you have basic concepts of any subject, any technique, one technique if you understand by heart, I think all the techniques will follow, because it's not that all the techniques have very different principles. Once your understanding comes to a particular level, I think you are industry ready, that is 100% sure, and you will do. Many of our students are working in industry and they are doing fantastically well because of these 3 or 4 criteria which we apply to them. So I think in all institutions who are pursuing research programs, these 2-3 criteria should be there to groom these things, rather than just running after showing their CVs through number of publications, 20 publications, 25 publications, and things like that. That will not help, because even one publication student is not able to defend themselves properly, which is there. So instead of that, the focus should be there, and of course, the aim should be clear to them. And I will urge all the students to understand themselves also. Don't run after ki what is the demand, main udhar chala jaunga. If you are good in presentation, if you are good in selling your ideas, be in sales team in an industry. If you are good in sort of a more of a instrumentation kind of a thing, then product development and things like will be much better for you. Or if you are good in solving some of the problems by analyzing data and things like that, then problem solving kind of an industrial, this will be better for you. So you yourself have to first analyze yourself in which stream you are better, and try to focus on that stream, try to develop that skills over there. Nowadays, skill development has so much dimension, it is not necessarily be formally through any institution, because the world is open now. It's all internet world, so YouTube and this and that. Of course, there also you have to choose wise things. But you can develop your skills in many aspects over here. But again and again, my request to all the students is grind yourself. Please come to a level where your understanding is there. Basic concepts are must. Otherwise, in long run, you will not go anywhere. Thank you.
Dr. Sathe, thank you very much for your very nice insight. I think it's going a long way to help our student community. Dr. Pai, over to you. Apart from this question, I would like to please apprise to the students that how you are selecting, because you are an industrialist, so you must be selecting good manpower every now and then. So what are the criteria you follow for the induction of required manpower in your organization?
Again, thanks for bringing me here, Nishanji. So I will slightly talk in a slightly different way, because you guys are already registered for PhD, half of the work is done or almost work is done. So now there is no point in going back to saying that what I will do at the start of my academia. You are already almost at the end of the academia, right? So first I tell students, if you have friends who are in software, don't discuss their salary. Point number one. If you discuss the salary, don't look for any other industry, you will not be happy. Nobody pays like software industry. Because there, even for a coder, gets starting with 40, 50,000 rupees, no industry pays. So if you have friends who have software, and if you are ready not to talk to them about salary, you are ready for the other part. Second part is, as Professor Sathe said, give presentation. But when I say presentation, I want to slightly differ. You might have seen my presentation. There is hardly any text there. The text you have to speak. Because text is easy nowadays with ChatGPT, right? I think people are preparing presentation with ChatGPT, so you are an expert already. But if you just put some figures and pictures, now you are asked to talk. Now ChatGPT cannot help you. Until unless you have some technology where, ChatGPT keep on telling you in the ears and you keep on speaking. So the presentation should be such that you should be able to, so that only you will prepare. Otherwise, you will be preparing only your presentation using a ChatGPT, nothing else. Another important point is you have to have passion. Now you say that you want to become a plasma scientist, right? Question is, do you have the passion? The moment I say passion, now the money doesn't matter. I want to do something in this field. And at least, frankly speaking, I find very few people with passion, because everybody comes, what is my job description? What is the salary I am going to give? Done. That means I will not hire them. Because they will not do any because we are into R&D equipments, manufacturing. So the point is, passion is something which is, you have to inculcate yourself. It's not something somebody can give you. No institute, no training, no YouTube can put passion into you. It has to come from inside. When you go to sleep, you will be thinking about your problems. Because if you don't solve it, right, that means, and if you sleep comfortably, that means you don't have the passion. You will finally sleep, I agree, but the passion has to be there. So money should not be important. See, you will get money, because as you grow in the industry, money comes in. But the point is, people don't have the patience. Everybody wants money now. Because you all were born in the age of 2 minutes noodle, right? तो 2 मिनट में खाना चाहिए, तो 2 मिनट में सब कुछ चाहिए, नहीं मिलता है. Even in software, see, frankly speaking, they get entry-level good money, but afterwards the money is not that good until you do exceptionally well. But in our type of industry, as you start doing good, right, you get a lot of opportunities. Like he said, right, patents, right? Company will, give you more money if you start patenting. You come up with some new invention which becomes a good product, people are given more money. In the sales, right, you bring more sales, they are giving percentage of the sales. So industry, you can get money, but then you have to put those efforts. I'll give one example. In our case, somebody came, he was a mechanical engineer. We told them, thoda to software karo, because all engineers do some coding, right? So we wanted somebody to start learning LabVIEW. So he started learning and started doing something, but with lot of inputs from us. Then the moment he made the first software, which is 50%, he told, sir, now you have to increase my salary. I said, why? Now I'm a software developer. I said, please, you can look for a job in software development, you can go. In the last 3 years, he has changed 11 jobs. Now you tell me, what is he doing, right? So industry is not forgiving. Let me tell you, ultimately, see, all these institutes get money from government. Industry doesn't get money from anywhere. Industry has to generate their own funds. So bottom line is profit. So I don't want a person, to come and say that, sir, I start getting more in salary. So what our strategy was very simple. We hired unqualified people, especially for production. Believe me. All our machinists were all from either, even not even 10th standard. But they had human skills, They were ready to learn. So we trained them. Now they are expert machinists. But because they don't have a qualification, now they will not go anywhere. It is not that we are exploiting them. We are giving them good salary. In our industry, we pay the best for all these turners, millers, and things like that. So this is one strategy we have adopted. But for design engineers, we cannot do that. So we have hired engineers. There is an attrition. People keep going and coming. We start treating them better, give respect. Paisa to nahi de sakta hai, but respect to de sakte hai, right? We give them flexibility. We have a rule, just put a message on the WhatsApp, that I'm coming late or I'm not coming today. It's accepted. So most important thing is you should have the interest to learn and say, I don't know. The problem now is he doesn't know. The moment you start admitting I don't know, there is scope for learning. The moment I say I know everything, there is no scope for learning. It's like, you can take a horse to the water, you cannot make it drink, right? So if you people say that I know everything, aap kaun hota hai mujhe puchne wala, khatam, then no teaching, no learning possible. So will to learn, that means on the stage when you say presentation, if somebody asks a question, sorry sir, I don't know, but I will get into this, get an answer to this. And in the next presentation, you should be able to answer that question. That means you have the capability to say, sorry, I don't know. You have the capability to go into the literature and find out the solution. And you have the capability to present it in the next time. If you have this, I will hire that person. So for me, as an industry person, this is what I'm looking for. Are you ready to say, I'm sorry, I don't know, but I also want to know whether you're ready to learn. We are ready to teach. So I think you people have got enough inputs. But I will tell you, the first condition is very difficult. Software दोस्त लोगों के साथ पगार के बारे में salary कुछ नहीं कर सकते. See, I will tell you, there was a meeting between L&T chairman, Narayan Murthy, and some other big industry. Narayan Murthy was complaining, he said, all these roads are so bad. So Mr. Kamath, L&T chairman, asked him, Murthy, you people are taking everybody for coding. BSc guy can do the coding. You are taking all good engineers. Road kaun banayega? And Murthy has no, because the software companies are doing business abroad, right? So they get a lot of income. हम किसको बेचेंगे? हम तो IPS को भेजेंगे RR CAT में पैसा कितना मिलेगा? How will you pay, right? So this is the difference. Tough choice, I'm telling you, but this is life.
Mr. Pai, thank you so very much for your excellent insight, practical insight, I would say. Over to Dr. Joshi. Dr. Joshi, you are in the business wherein the culture is little different than what is there in our Indian ecosystem. So along with answering this particular question, can you imbibe those sort of culture inputs or the skill sets so that our students can be benefited?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So, 9th July 2020 was my defense. So right now it's just about 5 years. I'll tell you my experience. I've done 2 postdocs. One failed startup I worked for 10 months, where they paid me salary for 4 months. And for the past 2 years, I've been working with Bellatrix. from my PhD time, what I tell you, the difference right now. So work-wise, I can tell you, I get up every day, and for me, I don't see the difference in the work, but I see the difference in the stakes. In PhD, I could go, if the experiment doesn't work, I could still report that, okay, it didn't work. That is also a publication. Okay, it didn't work. Now the stakes are high. So once the stakes are high, as sir said, once the money gets involved, you have to be extra careful. I always say, as an engineer, I had this habit anyhow. I would read instrument manuals in great detail, even if I'm not using that instrument. So whenever I have, you will invariably have some free times in your lab. Just pick up any instrument. There's lots of instruments lying in your lab. Just pick up any instrument manual. Start reading. Doesn't matter. You will gain so much experience and knowledge from just reading the manual that you will start developing your own idea that, okay, this instrument may not be used in just the way it is supposed to. You can couple it with this thing and it can act as a third instrument itself. So I'm just giving a practical advice. I'm not saying that, okay, this is the career path, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, you will end up here. I'm just saying, just industry right now, I have a team lead, but he's not my boss. He will tell me that, okay, we want this product, you do it your way. Problem is, you have to, industry are looking for your skills in the sense that your research skills. So the way you do research, the systematic approach towards it, the report writing, because we have to write lot of reports. Because in PhD, you can just, scribble down in your notebook that, okay, you will forget 2 days later, that doesn't matter, okay, fine. But every day, more than the experiment part of it, I am writing more reports and keeping track of all the data, what is going where. So this habit that everyone needs to develop, because sir told IP. How will you generate this IP if you don't have the track record of all the experiments that you did, on which date, and maintaining the confidentiality? So all these things industry is looking for it. But, I mean, you might be doing it, I don't know. But just as a habit, as a skill set, you should develop that, okay, day one. Everyone will be having that IPR or wherever you are, that notebook, that lab book. Date it, write properly what was done today. That skill set, it will take you a long way in the industry, because once they end up at a stage of patenting, they will have to go back to your notes. And you will have to answer that, okay, what exactly happened? A failure happened. Why it happened? What is the reason behind it? Even like you don't have unlimited resources to buy equipment. Equipment failed. You should be able to tell that, okay, why it failed. We overstretch its limits. But as per design, it should not have failed. Recently, I encountered a failure of a MOSFET, just a very simple thing. So I had considered a nominal current for the MOSFET. But the spikes, the transient spikes, for nanosecond spikes, it was taking 10 times the nominal current. The MOSFET was failing. We destroyed 10 MOSFETs, then realized this was the problem. Why we were not realizing? Because our oscilloscopes were not measuring in nanosecond time scales. So just this analysis that, okay, there are limitations on your instrument also. You cannot measure everything, but you can plan everything from your end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joshi, for your insight. And since publication and intellectual property right, they are also part of industry, yes, and very, very important component or a pillar of the industry. So I would like to have your comments on that.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me here with the great panel over here. So I have a very bit different perspective on this part because I feel the generations we are, seniors to me, and I guess people who have published earlier used to write the paper, send the paper used to go to a peer review process, and then come back and then it get published up. Laterly, it came to an electronic system, then you submit the paper online, you get it reviewed. Now there is coming of an AI. So things have been moving over the period of time. And I feel that the mindset of the generation has also changed. One. However, I also agree with the mindset of the generation is like, to live in the country with the amount of inflation, you need money, and which is beneficial for both. And it's because it gives you a comfort zone of an academician because you are more associated with the publication, the research which is going on around the world. You have an idea of what kind of a publication in a particular domain is happening. Along with that, you have some sort of a cushioning of a corporate world as well. And for that, it's required. However, the more thing you need to figure it out is the networking. Because particularly, let us say for plasma, you have a particular niche domain. Now, for that domain, you will have a limited jobs available in India. Your seniors would have moved to the jobs when you will come back to a stage. Would have moved to the jobs when you will come back to a stage where you have done your PhDs. There would be a time where the saturations will come up. And in that scenario, you can think of getting a job, which is the conventional part, which is you have a doctorate, you go to a postdoc, you join a job as well. And for that scenario, considering a publishing industry would be beneficial in this term, like if you have your basic correct, if you have networking, as that ma'am said, you have a data details every time. This means you will be creatively thinking it up. Now, combining all these things up, you become a good editor. The editor is basically connecting the academician with the industry. If it is a cycle, basically. If we publish that work is being distributed among all the academician and all the industrialists. And over editor, you should have that qualities, A, to understand what the author has done. It is repetitive or not, it has no novelty or not. Another, you should have to figure it out whether the data presented is genuine or not. At every stage of PhD, whoever is sitting in this domain, we know how the data is being developed. Is it true? What are the mindset of the people while carrying out the experiment? So all these things, qualities in everyone who is present over here as a doctorate or a postdoc. It's just that we need to upgrade and upskill those part with obviously with the basic knowledge and the other skills like communications, presentation, data analytics. But combining all these, it's a very good skill for you guys to go to a publishing industry, become an editor, and help the society, to share this knowledge from the scientists or from the academicians and bringing all that one platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khanna. I think very nice and very apt observations about the publishing industry. And same is true with the intellectual property right also. Excellent opportunities available, provided you have certain skill sets. For example, you are expert in due diligence. That is what is required. Second thing is your skill set or habit of reading, extensive reading. I mean, not only technical, but non-technical things also, so that you can quantify, you can find it out, what is there in the prior art and what is being claimed. So if you have got this type of mindset, there's another opening in our country, that is intellectual property right. So dear students and friends, we have got an excellent panel. We have got doyens of academia, experts from industry, from the publishing house, right? So now the floor is open. You can ask questions. Be brief, but please interact with them and get additional knowledge so that it can help you in your career progression.
Sir, thank you very much for your thoughts and
your name, please.
Yeah, I am James Raja, research scholar from National Institute of Technology, Calicut. And my question is basically, sir, like, if what I observe is presently, be it industry or a publishing domain, I mean journals, or a university that is hiring a postdoc or a research scholar, they are in some sense more inclined towards something that people will come up with an application or a product that can be immediately sold out so that it could make a good profit for that firm. I would not say this is the 100% focus of any firm, but most of the firms are mostly inclined towards it, or I would say they are mostly focusing or I would say concentrating on this aspect. So suppose if my work is on basically formulating a particular method which has a lot of theoretical formulation and a method which probably may take 15 to 20 years to take a full shape which could be sold out. Now if I come to such a firm and similarly there is another guy who come up with a nice application where they can be hiring them and immediately they can come up with a product if they could hire them and they could make a big profit. Now they mostly incline towards the other person. So the importance for someone who has kind of interested or working in developing a good theoretical formulation or some sort of a research where it is having a good novelty, where it may take a good shape, wherein time actually is a matter. For such people, what I'm saying, I'm saying from my own experience. I went to a company, which is a
Please be brief.
Yeah.
You see,
so
the one skill set which is essentially required for all of you is, if you are asking question, it should be very, very focused, crisp, and short.
That's true. That's
now,
true.
in the process, I am pretty sure that all the panelists got confused that what exactly you are asking. So please ask the focus question. What do you want to know?
Okay, so I hope the panel is getting some idea of what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, okay, I will answer you.
Yes.
So your type of skill set is also required. Like IIT Kanpur has done a lot of simulation and theoretical studies on traffic in India. So it's not that it is not required. Or the famous, again in IIT Kanpur, professor who has developed a model how this COVID pandemic is going to grow, first wave, second wave, third wave, and fourth wave, and things like that. So it's not that this type of theoretical simulations or modeling is not required. It is also required. And that's a very biggest example that whether the COVID will die down or not, it will recurrent, and I think it matched well. So this type of things are also required. So you are actually addressing much larger problem of societal problems. So that only thing is your model should be able to connect with that. Yeah. So that connection is required. And that is actually is missing. That is connection between industry and academia is missing. So I generally tell all the industries that you give a very small project to our academia or academic institutions. Just give 5 lakhs or something so that we can start a project and employ a research scholar to address that part. If you give 5 lakhs, we will add another 25 lakh best model which is available with that. But very few industries come up. Now it has started growing up. So with growing GDP, this has started growing up.
Yeah,
so maybe this is the answer to your question.
I think I will give a different answer. So your question.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I'm just giving a small example.
No, you say yes or no. Basically, see, you have,
yes.
Now whether they will throw you out or not. See,
Certainly
the question is this,
an
industry doesn't hire you just because of your just that knowledge. So if this doesn't work, the industry can give you another problem. So we are trying to use your skill set of trying to simulate, trying to develop something. See, whether it will work or not, see, development is sometimes never happens. Right? That doesn't mean that industry is going to throw you.
That's true.
The skill set is more important. But if you are saying that, no, I am going to work only on that.
To add something.
Yeah, what just have faith domain to get an output from you. So what just sir mentioned, I just wanted to...
You want to add something, sir?
I think that, like I mentioned, that like one cannot be very stubborn in the system, and you have to see the adaptability, and you should imagine the things like what will be, how your knowledge can be utilized for the purpose. If you are not able to address that, then it's a difficult situation.
Thank you very much. Another question? Your name, organization, and then question to whom?
Yes, sir.
And then question to whom?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Singang. Power of computation. A lot of industry has asked, or the academy are doing the workshops on educating the, none of the schools are being held. So that none of the schools are being held. So that none of the, like any schools, that none of the, like any schools are being held or high species. So I had to learn from power, but it seems like the institutes or the industries are not helping in educating the masses of how to utilize this facilities. So we utilize these facilities. So with yes, and there, so
Ask the question.
okay. My question is
Ask the question.
okay. My question is. Why are not such opportunities or education workshops are not being held regularly? That's what I wanted to know from the industry as well as the academic side.
I think in research, one part is literature survey. So you have not conducted a school. See, ये क्या होता है? Yes, CDAC Pune, if you...
This is a normal...
From all the... Can it not be made a mandatory thing like publications in the PhD program setups?
Dr. Katre, would you like to answer?
Basically, you want what you're looking at, like during your tenure, so you have to have some industrial exposure or working in the industrial field. Yes, that's a kind of idea that will be very useful. And actually, in our case, many students have actually went abroad also for some, like ITER, they have participated there also. But to my knowledge, recently I do not see that they have actually gone for an industrial project within India. But certainly they have gone for workshops or for internships abroad. That is there. But it's a good idea, but I think it has not materialized in this, in all the institutes, I should say.
Yeah, so things are there. There is a bit of stiff competition also to get into those kind of programs. What I'm saying is, at least for a couple of months or 3 months, 4 months, it should be a mandatory thing like publications. So in India, to get a PhD, you have to publish 2 papers, right? So for 2 or 3 months, candidates should be given an opportunity to, like whatever, like experimental, computational, whatever domain they are working, to get exposure, and that should be mandatory so that a candidate have exposure and then can decide whether he wants to pursue academia or industry or whatever. Like,
yeah, that's a good idea from the organizational side. If there's some proposals, there should not be any issue. That, like, I think we have been also discussing about this aspect. But thing is that, like, we have to have also the industry able to provide that opportunities also from there, that end. So maybe.
Internship, no issue. But the point is, IIT should come forward and say that, okay, but if the guy has to go for internship, right? If it is going to be part of your research.
I think if I can take that quote, the new education policy has actually become part of IIT system, right? So you may be aware now, I don't know if you're aware, but the new education policy has sort of made it mandatory of this internship for students. So we are supposed to, you will be having a opportunity to go for that connect. Earlier, the administration was not allowing for such internships for various reasons, natural reasons. No, now you can. Yes. Come back. So it is credited both for all for UG, PG, and PhDs. So now that's what is coming. I think the earlier reason was there was a disconnect between the industry, sending the students to the industry, who will take responsibility of the students in case of any debacle in that industry. That was the main reason that the IITs especially did not allow students, because we didn't, the industry was probably, whoever went, if they were given, the industry was ready to take some insurance for them. I'm pretty sure most of them have gone today in internships. Okay, so there is some protocol that has become a problem.
So thank you very much. Sure. I mean, because of paucity of time, we'll take second question. The question is, what is the ideal career path model for plasma researchers pursuing career in both academia and industry, including key preparation steps and essential skill sets for each? So can you start, sir, Dr. Sate? I'll start with you.
Yeah, okay, so plasma as such is a very applied subject in my opinion, because it has direct applications apart from, of course, understanding these things. So again, the main theme will be shake hand between industry and academia only. So if that is why I am again saying that if industry gives even a few lakhs also and gives a proposal that this type of project should be done over there, I think most of the academic institutions are ready to invest at least 5 times, 6 times amount into that, engage a student into that, and the career of that student is likely to go in that direction very easily. Because already a handshake is there between that industry and the student and everything. And if they find that the student is very good, then it can go ahead very easily and go into that direction naturally into it.
Dr. Shantanu, if you have any observations.
I think doing research in plasma has a great opportunity, because plasma, it's a basically multidisciplinary. Again, sir just mentioned there. That means to create plasma, you have to have understanding about electrical conversion of electrical energy into the plasma. So knowledge about instrumentation, knowledge about how to deal with gases, various chemistry, things like that. So you have broadened perspective as well as theoretical modeling also. So you have a lot of opportunity when you pursue your PhD problem with, meticulously in a particular area. So you get the opportunities and exposure to various of these areas which industries are actually looking for. If you working in a very solid state physics or things like, you only have the idea about instruments that you deal with. But here you have the opportunity to learn about many aspects of it, diagnostics, sensors. So I think there's a good opportunities. And what should be the model? Again, one has to ask that, like, how you want to see yourself. Whether you want to go become a teacher or become a supervisor, lead become a scientist, things like that. Or you really want to, innovation, what again sir mentioned here. So you have to ask. So if you want to build your career as in academia, so you have to spend a lot of time in good, research, postdoctoral research, and you have to demonstrate that you have that capacity. You have to publish papers, research articles of high impact factors, and your contributions that will be acknowledged or noticed. And then there are a lot of, I think many IITs now, they are opening up in plasmas area. I think when I'm interacting with you, it's my first opportunity to actually see. So I see that we should not be concentrated only at IPR. We should actually have more institutions which will look into aspects of the plasmas, and I'm really with them. And so I see that, like, I think many of plasma physicists from IPR students, they have joined faculties. I think I know that, like, Sanath, Dr. Sanath now, I think I cannot name many, in SBN IT, I think recently, and I think I cannot remember, but I know that, like, lot of our PhD students, they have, including myself also, I have studied from IPR and then went abroad and again came back. But I am saying that, like, so there are a lot of prospects of our plasma physicists, and looking at the fusion and things which will be required in the future. So we really need plasma physicists in academy. Thank you.
Ma'am, do you have any observations on that?
Yeah, the first thing I would like to tell you all is, every researcher does not know whether they'll go to academy or industry. It's actually a question mark, right? So what you have to do is to build a nice CV. So what does your CV, what should be there in the CV? If you are trying to aim for an academia, you should have a nice number of publications, or a postdoc. If you have a postdoc, the number of projects that you can get, so that will help you in going into academia. But if you are planning to go to a national lab or an industry, then all those features should be there. And second, try to attend in this particular 5 years of 6 years of your PhD life. Go and attend every industrial conferences or academic conferences. Do a networking. Try to look into LinkedIn's. Try to come in contact with all the people in the LinkedIn and get in touch with them. So as soon as you finish your PhD, you know that you know where to go. So build your CV in a manner where you want to go for either for an academic type or for an industry.
Ma'am, thank you very much. Quick comment from you, Dr. Joshi.
Okay, so the question is, what is the ideal career path? There is no such thing as an ideal career path, okay? What you are looking at is, because I have been through it very recently, you will get the opportunities, but they may not be long term. You should be open to everything, in the sense that be open to take a 2-year position, be open for a 3-year position, be open to relocate. If you are willing to do these things, there are a number of opportunities. But if you say that I'll be staying here in this city, and I want a permanent position, and I want this, and I want that, and as sir was saying, compare yourself with a software industry package, then the number of conditions that you put, the opportunities keeps coming down and down and down. So I know it is not easy, in the sense that once you are completing your PhD, you are almost close to 30 years of age. And at that point in time, you are looking to have some sort of stability. But it is just from my personal experience, I'm telling, be open to everything and opportunities will come to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pai.
Well, whatever I said holds true here also. But again, the question is, when you say plasma researcher, now you have to select the industry also properly. What exactly is a plasma researcher? I mean, I have not understood, because either I can start using a plasma equipment to do my research, or I can develop an equipment knowing the basic understandings of plasma. And the first group need not know the basic principle. They don't even have to know how the plasma is generated. They have an equipment with a plasma coming on. Now you are using it for application. So plasma researcher is something you have to define. I will put a plasma researcher as somebody whom I can depend on developing plasma instruments. That means you should have an in-depth knowledge of plasma. So that's exactly, when people like that comes to us, we will take an interview and we'll ask certain questions. We'll try to judge at least 80% whether this guy is capable or not. Because at that time, no chat GPT is going to help, because it's only person to person, no presentation. Like we will put a statement of problem and we will see what sort of solution he comes up with, right? Because you have already developed, so you'll have some idea what can be done. So as I said, industry, there is a lot of opportunity, but what I find is, people's aspiration is different. And industry cannot meet it, believe me. You want 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees salary in the starting with, just not possible. You may have a PhD, but what is the use to the industry from you? If industry can utilize your capability, but how will they know in 1 day or 1 month or 3 months, right? It will take you a couple of months to settle down itself. By that time you say that I want to make a difference, not possible. So basically, mindset change has to be there, because I am seeing it very much lacking in present students. Everybody wants quick appreciation, quick money. Industry cannot afford. That is why people are going to software.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Khanna, your quick comment on this with your publication perspective, because you have got specialized journals and
yes, exactly.
publications and all that.
So as just what ma'am said, so basically there is nothing called an ideal career path. It individually depends what you want to do in the particular field. So as I said, the plasma is being a niche area where you have a particular domain to work with. So either you have two ways to look at it. One is you go with this research background, you go with an assistant professor, and for that you required a good amount of publications. Your CV should be very good enough, especially for an IITs or an NITs, and for that you need a good postdoc, not a single postdoc, but a couple of postdoc from a good outside universities based on the QS ranking. And then you come back to India and okay, now that is a stable job. You have a stable job, you have been into IITs and NITs, this is one path one can move on. Another is the industrial part, which everyone has talked about, which requires an essential skill set. The passion should be there to work in an industry, even at not comparing the salaries to the high-tech performance of the companies. Another, which is the publishing industries for which I am here, it actually bridges both of them. You get your academic knowledge, skill set to be utilized in a proper way. And you can expect the similar kind of things to be supported for you in terms of the corporate behaviors, which is the industries, and you can hope for not what sir said, you can't match for the tech industries basically, but in a similar way, it lies between a better than an academic, a bit lesser than the software industries. So publishing industry is also a new area or a domain where the PhDs basically or the postdocs should look into it, because it is a very good opportunity to utilize what you have got over those years, 5 years of PhDs, your eye, your vision, and your analytical things to criticize, okay, this is not the novel thing. We should not, allow these characteristic of, an employees, what the publishing industry looks in the recent times.
Thank you very much. And the floor is open. We'll take 4 questions because of the paucity of time. Okay, yes, please.
Yeah.
Your name, organization?
Yeah. I'm Libin Varghese. I'm
question to whom?
Question to Dr. Khanna, actually. I'm doing PhD. I'm in my 2nd year. I'm from Dhirubhai Ambani University, Gandhinagar. So my question is actually, so much of AI-generated text is there. So a lot of publications may be arriving which has AI-generated text. So what does your organization do in recognizing or like finding out the AI-generated text in both ways, like the submitted manuscript as well as the submitted review question comments as well? So in both directions.
Question is AI in publication.
That's a great question, and it has been currently like in hype in the publishing industry. Not only us as an Elsevier, but entire group. Every publishing group is working on it. So we have internally developed an AI model. So when a manuscript comes to us, it automatically it won't show to you, but for the editor, it completely shows the amount of percentage the AI generated is. That is applicable for the author as well as for the reviewer. Now, what we do with the reviewer basically is we ban the reviewer. If that thing happens a couple of times, because for every reviewer report, we give rating to the reviewer. That is being just seen by us house. So once it get beyond couple of range and we see that the reviewer is continuously citing his paper or using an AI generated thing, we'll completely ban the reviewer. So the reviewer won't get the papers to be reviewed. When it's coming to the author side, we firstly give the chance to the author. You have a chance to revise the manuscript, make it appropriate in the normal language. If the author continues to do with that part also, we'll blacklist the author. The author would not be able to submit any manuscript, and even the even the already published manuscript will go under the ethical concerns, and we'll scan all the previously published, and if required, we can retrace it down.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, please.
Hi, sir. Thank you. I am Bijoy Dalal from PRL Ahmedabad. I have a question to Dr. Khanna regarding publication charges. Okay. I mean, as you can see, it may not be relevant for elsewhere, but you may know that other publishing house, they charge huge amount of money from the authors. So why this much amount, and what are the other other things we can do?
Yeah, it's a very common question. Even when I was doing the PhD, and I used to think, why I need to pay the money, because I have carried out the experiment, I have invested my time. So it's how
the industry works, right? Industry works on profitability. It is not working on free of charge, basically, and it is not an NGO that you settle down at zero and zero level. So we have employees, we have everything, we have a firm which needs to be run properly, and every year we have those things to look into, either the appraisals or how the cycle goes. Now, to balance it up, Elsevier or the other group as well have two kinds of mode. One is called the subscription charges, where you just need to submit the papers, and the company will bear the charges of the publications. Another is the APC mode, which is the article processing fees. Now, the reason this came into picture is because the APC ones is the faster way to track your publications, which means some of the journals, earlier when the data was coming it up, the subscription-based journals have a longer period of review process. However, the APC charges, the journal which is called OA ones, have a lesser review process. So someone, I mean, like DST or SERB or DBT, they give funded project. So if you have that section called, I don't know, contingency or something or the other, in which you have that money and you are ready to pay it up, actually you can get your publication bit faster. Now, considering that in India, the charge is very, very high, we also put up those matter to the upper management. And recently, I guess 6 months back or a year back, we have come up with the policy of discounting. So what is happening? India comes under a GPOA policy for Elsevier, and you are only required to pay 20% of the entire charges. However, if the work is really good, it is novel, it depends upon the publisher and the editor if they can waive off your entire money. But this is not applicable for every paper if you submit it up. So we see the track of the author, we see the corresponding author, the amount of, the work has been done in the paper, and will it be beneficial for the journal or not? Because for us, citation and site score matters a lot. So we look at the area where this paper will impact the journal, and if it impacts really good for us, we waive off the article processing fees as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, third question. Okay, your name and organization.
Hello everyone, my name is Shivam. I am a PhD scholar at Thirupayambadi University. So my question is...
Come in the forward section because we cannot hear what you are saying. Come here. Come in the front.
So my question is for academics and industries. Like my research area includes deep learning, using a deep learning model to replace the simulation method and to solve some unsolvable physical problems like inverse scattering problem. So this is my field. So I want to know what are the opportunities for a person like me in industries and academics.
Dr. Sati, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, academia, it is very straightforward. If you really publish well in some very good journals, recognized journals and all other things, academia will definitely give you a chance to pursue your path. In academia, that is the beauty of academic life, that generally nobody will dictate you what kind of work you have to do. They just want some excellent work from you. And you have a freedom of choosing your own problems. On the contrary, industry has their own needs because profitability is the first these things to them. And so they will ask you to adapt according to their needs. But as far as academia is concerned, you have to really publish in very high-ranking journals and other criteria. If they fits into it, you definitely have a very bright chance in academia.
So I mentioned in the before, like when you're doing some theoretical problems, but you should always try to find out, or I mean, there is a connect where your research, what are the areas in which people are, your knowledge can be, fitting in. So that you have to know that, like I'm doing this not as an abstract thing, but it has some linkages to certain areas. Okay, so reading your journals, the area where you are, these kinds of problems are there. So you can always build on that. Okay, so this is the effort that you have to do from your side.
So last question. No, you already had a couple of questions. Yeah. Please, yes, please. Your name,
My name is Krish Kumar Singh. I am from IPR. Sir, my question is
Question
all
to
of
whom?
you. Sir, all of.
Okay.
Sir, why people go abroad for their postdoc? Why not? Why the Indian government not build such university like worldwide that the Indian students not go abroad for their postdoc? What is the obstacle?
So what was your question again? Why?
Sir, why
Why student? One of my student, he did not go, in spite, he did not apply it anywhere as a postdoc. He wanted to stay. He became an assistant professor in some college.
No, sir,
But it is not.
most of the students, after completing their PhD from India.
But in general, they
Yeah,
prefer
but it is not wrong, actually. One should go.
It's not
and-
wrong, sir. But sir, if you want job in university like IT, so they ask so question कि जैसे we like to you ask you say na sir कि your paper should be high quality.
Yes.
So if we do our postdoc from India, so we cannot get like professor, assistant professor in IT. They ask for their postdoc from abroad.
Okay,
So,
so-
why we not build or Indian government do something that the Indian student do their postdoc from India and do and get job in the same university? So what is obstacle? What
There
comes
must
in
be some
front of us?
criteria for IITs they are looking for, so that I cannot comment on that. But I think if you are excelling and if you have a good publications and it has been acknowledged worldwide, so I don't think that there should be any limitations. Maybe Ramesh Narayan can
Dr.
explain.
Narayanan, I think he would like to comment on that.
Well, I can tell you our department have faculty who have not gone abroad, point one. Okay, it's not a criteria that every time we look for scenarios where you have to compulsory have a postdoc from abroad, point one. And it is basically the need of the department, the requirements in that department that sometimes play a major role. Okay, and a department that sometimes play a major role. Okay, and I understand there are some institutes which probably really enforce it, but there are criteria in which people do take in that scenario. I think that's what your question is, right? Why Indian postdocs are not taken, right? So, so it is just, that's the first answer. It does taken. Second is sometimes we do believe that when you go out, you get a different exposure. And when you come back, that experience can bring out a much more flowery professional career that you can give the Indian community. Okay, that's the thing. But there, as I said, it's not, it may be looking like you're seeing from the outside, it may be looking as a necessity, but there are cases where the recruitment community, I won't name the community, do look into the pros and cons and even recruit faculty who are fresh PhDs. Now, Government of India has allowed taking fresh PhDs with 5 years tenure track. So you are monitored for 5 years before you are being made a regular assistant professor in IITs, okay, or in
Doctor,
IITs.
thank you so very much.
Yes.
And you are part of our panel also. So, with this, I would like to close this panel session, and I must thank each of you for contributing a lot. And not only students, even I am enriched with a lot of information from Dr. Sate, from you, from ma'am, from Mr. Pai, Dr. Joshi, and Saksham. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best. Oh, please, please. Over to you.
Thank you all of panel members and Anurag sir for wonderful discussion and informative discussion. Now requested Dr. Nishant Sirse, our convener, to present mementos. So please sir come on the stage. Firstly, I request our esteemed guest, Dr. Vasant Sate, Director UGC DAE CSAR Indore, kindly accept the memento as a token of our appreciation. Sir. Now I request of Professor Shantanu Karkari, please accept our memento as a token of appreciation. Now I request Dr. Anurag Adit Gupta, please come
not to
forward.
me.
Yes, sir. You are speaker.
I am the
you are
organizer, bhai.
speaker, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Sir.
Now I request Dr. A. Joseph, please come forward. Now I request Mr. Subhash Pai. Now request to Dr. Jay Joshi. Now, sir. Now I request to Dr. Saksham Khanna. Now I request to all panel member and Anurag sir
First,
to come forward.
thank you so very much.
And have a
Thanks a lot.
for the sir full
Sir,
panel
thank
photograph.
you very much. Very nice meeting you. Thanks a lot. Very nice meeting you. Thanks a lot. Very nice meeting you. Thanks, Anurag. My son's name is also Saksham. Huh?
Ma'am, आप लोग लीजिए, please.
Thank you.
Video, we should be moving around, right?
So we are.
Okay.
वापस थोड़ा गैप बनाए पीछे देखने के लिए
Thank you.
आपने चौथा क्लिक नहीं किया, आपने आगे के चार क्लिक किया।